So let's start quickly with the agenda for the training. Okay. So today's topic, what we are going to focus on is first is POSH. What is POSH and everything? What does sexual harassment mean? Everyone has got a thought that sexual harassment means a male is coming, he is raping a lady, and that becomes a sexual harassment. That concept itself is wrong. That is what we are trying to learn today on what and all are what is the actual meaning of sexual harassment as per the POSH Act, and what is the workplace, how to handle the situation in case of any harassment, what are the committees which we need to form so that we can have a, that is if at all we face any kind of a problem, how to overcome that problem, and how is the act supporting us in case of any problems which we are facing. How is the inquiry process which will be going? What is the women complaint forum which will be there? If at all I have a problem, where should I go and address it? And how the inquiry will happen? How the judgment will happen? What are the base facts and figures for that particular thing? Everything will be addressed here. And what are the implications of false allegations, which is a very common happening because of that false allegations. What are the implications of this? Also, we will see it in today's webinar. Okay. So first, let me start up with a story. Okay. So in 1992, the lady which you are seeing here, her name is Banwari Devi. Okay. In 1992, she was a social activist. She was in her village, which is there in a small village. What she used to do is she used to do a lot of social activities. She was a social worker. She used to be strictly against the child marriages and family planning. She used to initiate, and many other things like all the women empowerment she used to do, all the things which is possible in her cadre at 1992. She was one of the main social activists at that particular time. So once what happened is there was a child marriage which was happening in her town. The girl was only 9 years of old. What she did, she along with her two, three friends as such, they went there and stopped the marriage which was happening. Okay. She told very clearly that the girl should not be married unless and until she is 18 years of age, and she stopped the marriage. So what happened was the entire village got a kind of ridge with her because she was trying to protest for everything. So what happened was in one day, some five men, when she was working on the field, they raped her. She didn't keep quiet. She went to the authorities. She complained about it, and there was a lot of protest which happened. At the same time, there were a lot of NGOs which came to her support. One of the NGO which came to her support was Vishaka. Okay, so what they did is they laid down the policies or guidelines how a woman should be protected in various harassment cases. See, I'm telling you again, it's not only the rape as such, it's various harassment cases, how a woman should be protected. That was the guidelines which was released in 1997. But after 22 years of a struggle, see, this was the base of why POSH Act came into existence. After 22 years, so this happened in 1992, and the act as such was released in 2013, which is called as Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace. That is, the Act mainly focuses on how to prevent harassment, number one, how to prohibit an harassment, number two, and if there is any kind of an harassment, how are we going to address it? This is the main agenda for this particular POSH. And thanks to our fight and everything, after 22 years, this particular act came into existence, and the act very clearly had strict guidelines telling that each organization, each institution, whether it is school or a college or any kind of an institution where there are 10 people, the POSH Act is mandatory. So it does not mean that, so we'll see now the act only tells that if you're 10 employees, there should be an implementation of POSH Act which needs to be done. But what happens if there are less than 10 employees? That is also a big question mark, right? So all these things we will try to address it today. And at that particular time, when the Posh was getting released, they did actually a survey. The survey was very shocking to them. The survey tells that at that particular time, 38% of the women was facing harassment. Okay, 38 percentage of the women was facing harassment, and out of that 69% of the women had not filed the cases, and they tried to hide the case and they tried to come out of it. This was a very shocking news. 38% of the women were harassed, number one, and in that, nearing to 70% didn't file a case against anyone, right? So all these things came into was taken into consideration, and then the Posh Act is a very strong act which was published in 2013. The act is very strong, but as Sharanya was telling, the implementation of the act is very low in India. So the awareness telling that there is an act, this is the rules for it, and this needs to be done. All this kind of awareness is what we as a team, we need to do it for the society. That is why when I got an opportunity, first I told, yes, I would like to do a awareness on Posh, because I want every woman to know what Posh is, and in case of anything, how she has to come out of it. Okay, so that is one of the major survey things which I want to highlight it before we get into the Posh Act. First, we need to understand what is sexual harassment. Okay, as I was telling you in the initial stage, it is not something a guy coming and raping a girl. That is only one of the context which is there in the sexual harassment. Other than that, if you're a person, if a guy is trying to have any kind of a physical contact, that is, without her consent, if a guy is trying to touch her or doing any kinds of advances, all these things comes under sexual harassment. And he's demanding for sexual favors, sexually colored remarks. This is something called that he's passing some kind of a comment, telling that it is kind of a double meaning kind of a comment, or all such things will be addressed over here. Showing pornography, that is sexual movies or sexual pics, all those things comes under sexual harassment. Other context is in case of, there are three kinds of things. In case of physical, verbal or non-verbal, if there is any kind of a thing which is done to a woman, it comes under sexual harassment. So these are the five major definitions of sexual harassment. Let's go a little bit in depth and see what is the different kinds of sexual harassment in terms of physical, verbal or non-verbal comment as such. Here the act is very clearly telling the intent is not important over here. The impact is the more important thing. See, that is, I'll tell you a small example. If a girl wears a good kind of a dress, a guy comes and comments, okay? He tells, okay, good dress, you're looking good today. That is fine. But if you tell you're trying to look very sexy, or you are looking very hot today, if a girl is okay with listening to such comments, then there is not a problem. But if a girl is not okay with listening to such comments, then that becomes a part of harassment to her, because she'll feel offended, she'll feel the guilt. That is what the guy would have told it in a good manner or in a bad manner. If the impact of a lady or a guy, if the impact is more important than the intent, is what the act clearly tells. How is she affected? That is, whether she is affected mentally or physically, or what is the impact of the harassment which has happened, is the main thing which the act is targeting. Okay. Physical is attempt to rape, one of the things. Touching, leaning over, cornering, pinching, all these things comes under sexual harassment. Touching the hair, clothing or body comes under this. Hugging, kissing, patting, and all these things also come under sexual harassment. Verbal is nowadays in the phone there is a lot of smileys which is there. In that also, if a guy sends a smiley to a woman which has got some heart symbol and all, that is also not wrong. That is also not a right way of attitude with the men. Okay, so all these kind of things also should be seriously restricted. So in case if that is happening, immediately please send it back to that particular person telling that I am not okay with it. Please stop doing it. So that kind of a response from a woman or a man can do it'll help to solve a lot of issues in this particular case. That is, if at all guy or a lady, if he or she is not comfortable with any kind of a language or anything, immediately the response should show the person very clearly that it is not interested. That I am not interested in any kinds of a dash 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 kind of a thing should be done. That kind of a response is very important in the thing. That is what the act tells us. If at all a guy sends a message and if a girl responds to it telling that I'm not interested in this, and again if a guy starts pressurizing a girl for this particular thing or any kind of a thing, that is a part of sexual harassment. Okay, immediately bring it to the notice of the committee members or anything, and whatever actions has to be taken needs to be taken for this. Then raising sexual topics during the work sessions is a very, very, very bad kind of a thing. See, there is a 10 people who's sitting. A wrong comment on any of the things is a part of a sexual harassment. Where, see, some people, sometimes what happens is if a lady is very fat kind of a thing, there's many things which is there like body shaming kind of a thing. So if the lady does not likes all those things, and if a guy is trying to put on comments which is not right in that particular thing, then the lady has got all the rights to go and complain to so and so person telling that this is what it is happening. Okay, so this particular thing also is very important, and wrong topics to be discussed in a wrong person where a girl is not comfortable also is taken care by the posh act. Whistling, whistling also is a very whistling also is a very to tell wrong kind of a thing which leads to sexual harassment. That is the definition. If at all a guy is whistling for a girl, or if a girl is whistling for a guy, that comes under harassment case. Then pressurizing for sexual favors, unwanted sexual gestures. That is, see, this is non-verbal. Just by the body language, if he or she is not comfortable with the other person, all the things comes under sexual harassment. Pressurizing for sexual favors, unwanted sexual gestures. This is very, very important kind of thing. Everyone thinks sexual harassment is something which is some kind of a physical contact. If it is there, only then it comes as a sexual harassment. No, it is not like that. Anything which is there, which is verbal or non-verbal, where he or she is affected. Okay, that's what the impact of the sexual harassment which has happened is can be what case can be given against it. Okay, unwanted phone calls. If there is one phone which is doing wrong time phone calls, that is after office hours phone calls, it is there. And the main thing on non-verbal thing or verbal thing, if you are having a boss who uses very, very bad language, all the nonsense kinds of a word, fucking or bastard or all those things, a lady has got all the rights to go complain for against the person in the harassment case. It need not be that only rape case, but all the other things also can be considered for sexual harassment. So whatever is the thing, if a lady is impacted with any of the act which is done, then it leads to a harassment case. Okay. So let's proceed and see all the other things. Yeah. Very important thing in the current scenario which we have to see is all this false allegations and all it is happening wrongly. That is, a lady goes and gives a complaint wrongly against a man. Okay, I'll tell you a recent scenario which had happened in one of the company. There was a girl. Okay, I cannot tell it is a girl, it is a lady. Okay, she's of 50 years of age, and her manager is there. She had to do xyz kind of a work. Okay, but she didn't do it during that particular time. The manager warned her once, the manager warned her twice. At the third time when it happened, the lady was going home and she said that this particular work is not done. So the manager got angry. He shouted back at the lady very badly. Okay, she shouted back at the lady very badly. It was a pure fault on the lady that she had not done the work. But manager's part, yeah, okay, he had raised his voice against the women. Okay, what he should have done in this particular case is, if at all the performance of the women is not good, he should have coolly told, you can leave the job, or you have to come up to the standards, or this is what he should have done. But what happened at the sudden impact of whatever the work is not done, XYZ work, and it was of a very urgency kind of a thing. The manager raised his voice and he told, this is not the first time or second time I'm doing it for you. This is the third time which is happening. What am I supposed to do with thing? And he raised his voice. This lady didn't keep quiet. This lady went and gave a harassment complaint to the committee. Okay, then what happened? The company, all the things, what they did is they tried to convince the lady, telling that don't do such things. It is not a harassment case because of the non-performance. This has been done, but the lady didn't accept it. Okay, she was very adamant, telling that the manager should be punished, and then she has to come to the same role which is there. So this is kind of a false allegations which is there, and the manager had got full proof against her non-performance. When the committee member investigated the case, they came to know very clearly it's a case of non-performance. Okay, so it was a false allegation telling that the manager had tried to tell this particular lady some kind of nonsense he raised. Actually, what had happened was, the lady, when she first gave the complaint was clearly stating that the manager has raised the voice and started scolding me very badly in a very bad tone and everything. That was the first complaint. Then when we started investigating, the lady started adding on points, telling that no, the manager asked me to come in the night, only we two will be there. My manager asked me to adjust. All these things she started telling. So in the investigation itself, we were very clear, telling that these points and all are not written in your complaint. Why? And as and when she started feeling that I'll be losing out the cases, she started adding a lot of allegations to that. Okay, so all these things also will, it is not a right on a lady to put a false allegation. See, ladies have got a soft corner. All the ladies have got a soft corner in terms of a act, but that advantage also should not be taken anywhere. Without facts and figures, you are not supposed to put a complaint on XYZ. Instead of that, you yourself have to be very strong enough to face the person and tell him strictly that you are not supposed to do. That is the first intent which is required. That is, we should have our own powers telling that if you do this, I will do so and so. So better mind your tone or language or anything. This should be the attitude which is should come from within. Okay, so here in the act which is telling, okay, act mainly focuses on women only. That is, for the act, it clearly tells that prevention, sexual harassment of women, against prevention, prohibition and redressal mechanism is what the act clearly tells. But when it comes to the companies and policies and everything, it very clearly tells that the women should not be discriminated in any way against the male employees. The act is very clearly telling if a man and a woman is discriminated, then he or she can file a case against the norms. So whenever we are trying to set in a policy, whenever we are trying to set in a posh policy in a company, this particular aspects needs to be taken care. So we should be well aware a boy can give a posh case against a woman and the women can give a posh case against a man also. So this part should be very clear that the gender equality is one of the major points which is covered in the posh. Okay. It is protection of sexual harassment and the right to work with dignity in the constitution, right? So here I'll tell you one more case study also, which is there. Why the women, that is in case of matrimonial harassment. Matrimonial harassment is nothing but husband and a wife, they are not able to gel together and the husband is trying to harass the wife. That is called as matrimonial harassment. So in a recent case which we were investigating, no, it was not a case, it was one of the actual scenario which happened, a maid. What happened was a maid was there, her daughter got married to a person. She, within 1 year of time, she got a baby. And after the baby, there was a little bit of reluctance in the husband. He started showing a little bit of negligence attitude, not negligence, he started showing negligence attitude towards the thing. He used to never give money to the wife. He used to never take care of the baby. Daily used to come and drink. Daily he used to come and hit her. All such things happened, and the girl was only of 19 years of old. She, within 19 years of old, she had a baby also, and she didn't know what needs to be done. So what she did, she left the husband and came back to the home. So when she came back to the home, also what the society did, everyone will start harassing the lady, telling that you are not able to adjust, you should adjust, you should try to make your husband in the correct way. If he's drinking and coming every day, it is because of your fault. You should have taken care of it. All these things started, harassment things started coming up for this particular small girl from the society. But again, the particular girl, what she did is she was strong enough when we went and asked her what is the problem or anything. What she told us only one thing. See, if I can go and adjust with my husband, that is not a thing. But there is no safety in that particular place. I don't feel any kind of a safety. Here, okay, the society is trying to tell wrong things about me. Okay, that is my fate. I have to there. But at least I am safe here. At least myself and my baby is safe and I can sleep without any kind of a tensions. And my baby can be fed properly because she started working. Within a few months, she started going to other work as a maid and she started earning her bread and butter. Then she started taking care of the baby and everything. So this kind of a safety thing is what a woman requires. So that is why all this particular acts came into existence, and that particular safety is one thing which is there. So this particular in gender equality and everything, matrimonial harassment is one of the major examples which you can give. Always the men is treated higher than a woman. That is not an issue. Men can be higher, and that is not an issue at all. But a woman cannot be discriminated against anything when compared to a man. The act is very clearly telling the women should be treated equally against the men in terms of anything, that is in terms of pay for women or in terms of occupation, in terms of fundamental right, discrimination at the workplace, any hazard as compared to a male colleague, everything, the act is that the women should not be discriminated at any way. If a woman feels discriminated in any way, then she can raise a harassment complaint. See, what happens here is, if at all there is some kind of an allegations. Now, let me tell you a realistic thing again. Now, a woman has faced some kind of an issue against her own boss. The boss started texting wrongly and all. So she tried to oppose this particular manager, but he continued to do it. So what she did, she went and complained to the ICC committee members. So the ICC committee members, who are the people who is going to investigate the case. So what happens is, in this particular thing, the women always are seen in such a anger, telling that she's done some mistakes, so only this person has done. So that particular environment in the office becomes a hostile environment for her. That is, everyone will start staring at her. Everyone will start telling that, okay, you are not right. So only all these things happen to her. All these things comes into picture. So all these things also can be taken into, should be taken, not can be taken, should be taken into a sexual harassment, where she is not able to work in such particular hostile environment, that is wrong environment, where all the people are trying to focus a wrong picture on her. Then she can always try to go and give a sexual harassment. Then in one of the things which happens is, like when compared to the example which I can give you for this is, there are five girls which a manager is having. The manager has got a soft corner to two of them are okay kind, but one of the lady, he tries to discriminate or scolds her, makes her life miserable, all those things, like a lot of discrimination between the entire team and her. That also happens, right? Then what happens, that women will become totally disturbed, because see that whatever rights, I'm just telling that whatever equality of work, that is, treat me also equally when compared to others, that is also a right. Then he or she can go and give a complaint against the person, telling that I am not being treated properly. There is a lot of injustice which is being done to me. There is a lot of favoritism which is happening in my team. And I have been betrayed because of so and so. She should have the facts and figures. Then at any cost, she can go and complain to the committee members and tell this is the facts which is happening. Then the manager is liable to the committee members, telling that no, this is not there, or he should tell that okay, there was something wrong which has happened in my thing, and I will take care of anything. Either he has to accept the complaint, or he has to show proofs or things telling that no, it is not this way which has been done. He should prove that his innocence is right or wrong. Okay, so gender equality is a major thing which is the major right of a woman and a man. And if a woman, in many instances which we are seeing in the latest thing, as I told you, false allegations and things, if at all women is being treated, that is, women is being discriminated against men, it is a part of it. Now what happens, a girl has got an interest on a guy. Okay, the girl is fully interested in it, but the guy does not show any kind of an interest because of XYZ reasons. Maybe he does not have like the person, or he's already committed, or anything. It is his wish. So this girl, what she does to take revenge on this particular guy, she goes and files some false allegations against the girl. So this is also coming to a highlight nowadays with a lot of things which is happening against the posh. So gender equality is very important thing which is needs to be done. If being a female, if you feel that you have been discriminated in any of the thing, either in your salary or in your work or anything, you have all the rights to approach your committee members and file a case against them. Okay, it's not a case, it is kind of a complaint which you are telling that I am disturbed with such a act of such a person. Okay, it is only kind that you are trying to seek justice from the act against the gender equality. Okay, you are only trying to seek justice against you. That is, I am disturbed because, excuse me, I have been disturbed because of such a act by done by such a person. So I am seeking justice. So please give me the justice by so and so. That should be the approach for every woman, and she need not be scared for going and approaching the committee members for any kind of a discomfort she has had. Instead of keeping her in the mind or heart or anything and then suffering for a very long time, she can always approach XYZ person and try to solve the issues for her and make her life simple and beautiful. That is one thing which is very important. Okay, now very important thing. See, in the first slide itself, we saw the name of the, yeah, the act very clearly tells sexual harassment of women at workplace. So at workplace is does it mean that the women only for the working women posh is applicable, and if a woman is at the home and if she's kind to if she's facing any kind of an harassment by a neighbor or a owner or anything, does it comes under posh or not? That will be the next question which will be there. What is the meaning of workplace as per Shops and Establishment Act? So yeah, so the answer for that is the workplace means dwelling place or a house. It includes the definition of the workplace means public sector, private sector. Private sector means anything it can be. It can be a school, college, hospital, nursing home, any kind of a institution, gatherings, club or a hotel or anywhere. If a lady is facing any kind of an harassment, she can approach the committee members and get justice for her. She can raise a voice against anything, anywhere. The act will take care of that. But only thing the thing should be is it should be genuine. It should there should be some witnesses. Even if it is not witnessing, how can she prove that it has been happened to her? All those things are very important thing. So it can be a sports institution, stadium, sports complex, any place visited by the employees during the employment, in case of a bus, in case of anything, any place, if the woman is going or a man is facing any kind of an harassment, it comes under the POSH Act. Okay. So the people who are at home also, if they're facing any kind of problems, can approach the committee members. The act is very clearly emphasizing on that. Now, next thing. So I clearly explained what are the different examples of POSH, what needs to be done and everything. And what is a workplace, I have given an example. And now we'll see, in case if I'm facing any kind of an harassment, what should be done by me? What are the steps which I need to take if I am being harassed by someone? Okay. First thing is, as I was telling you, the first and foremost thing is, if at all you find any behavior or unwelcome act by any person, it might be anything. It might be a word, or it might be an action, or it might be any kind of a thing which you didn't like it. Okay. See, I'll tell you one small example. If a person comes and tells me, okay, I love you, Anni or Chechi or anything, if they tell, I don't feel offended. It depends upon the person who's coming and telling me. If my brother comes and tells me, okay, I love you, Akka, for whatever it is there, I feel okay, kind of a thing. But if it is by the same dialogue, if it is done by a third person, I don't feel comfortable. If some third person whom I don't know, there, see, recently I'll tell you there is a small thing which happened. I would like to tell all the case studies. That is what is the best examples to do the thing. Recently, there was a guy who was asking for a job. Okay, I'm a HR professional. So as I told you, the people approaches me for job. So when he was asking for a job, I told there is right now there is no job. If there is anything, I'll let you know. His name was Srinivas. So then he started continuously texting me. I'm not telling his intent was wrong. His intent was very right. He was trying to become close to me so that he will get a job. His intent was right. Okay, he was trying to be close with me. Every day morning he used to ask me, have you had breakfast, have you had a thing, have you had lunch, what are you doing now, Ramita? All these things he used to ask me for 2 days. 1 or 2 messages I replied, and after that I also didn't reply. The third day onwards he started trying to become very close with me, and again he started telling, hi dear, how are you, good morning, all those things he started saying. His intent was no way bad. His intent was only thing is, if I become close to Ramita, I will be getting a job faster. She might be referring me to someone. That was the only intent. But the way he has taken was not acceptable to me. So I messaged back telling that I am not comfortable, telling that calling me dear, I'm not so very close to you, so I'm not comfortable with it. You can call me Ramita, I said. So after that, he didn't reply at all. So when whatever act which he or she does, if you're not comfortable with it, immediately pass on to the person telling that I'm not comfortable with it. Okay, that should be the first and foremost step a woman should take in case of any kind of a thing. That should be the first thing. See, I feeling bad and keeping quiet. Why is this person doing like that? Will not serve any kind of a purpose. At the same time, if you're trying to stop the person at the very first instant, telling that no, stay wherever you are there, either it comes to an office or a manager or anything, if you try to stop in the very first thing, you will not be facing more kind of an issues. With a manager, many women also which I've seen us, they try to become very over good with the manager, telling that I will be getting good increment, my manager will not be giving much job, I should try to what to tell, be very close with my manager so that I will be safe, no much work will be given, I'll be getting a good increment, I'll be getting a good ratings. All these things also intended are there. So at the same time, the manager should not take advantage of you being that way. If at all you're trying to impress your manager as much as possible, at the same time, the manager should not take advantage also. So both the things you need to take care. You have to do your work properly, then everything will be in place. Okay, you need not have to try and impress a person and then get into trouble in the larger perspective. You should not get it into a trouble in trying to impress a person. Do your job and everything will come to you in the right place at the right time. Okay, so this is first thing is, whenever you find any person's he or she behavior is not right, if you're not comfortable with him, ask him or her not to repeat it at any cost. That should be the first and foremost step. Then the second step is internal complaints committee. Okay, this is very important thing. ICC committee. So what the POSH Act rules tells us, if there is any organization or entity or company or association or a trust or a school or a college or anything, any kind of a sector which is there, if the sector is having 10 employees, the Act clearly tells that you should have a ICC committee within your entity or trust or anything. Whichever kind of a thing. See, many of you in this particular team, whoever is attending will be entrepreneurs or will be a thing. The POSH Act is mandatory that it needs to be implemented in your premises or wherever you work. If there are 10 people as such, POSH implementation is mandatory. Number one. How the POSH implementation has to be done is, first thing is, you should have a proper policy in place. posh policy in place, telling that what are the kinds of assessments which is there in the harassments which is there in the act, what is steps which needs to be taken by an employee or whoever it is there, or a student or a college mate or whatever who is there, in case of any harassment, whom the person has to approach to. All these things has to be clearly written in the posh policy of that particular entity, and very important, that should be published or made known to each and every person in that particular entity. What are the rules and regulations? If I'm facing any kind of a problem, whom should I go and address to? Is a very important thing which needs to be done. That is a posh policy which is there. And if you're having 10 employees or students or anything, there should be an internal complaints committee which needs to be done. Okay, I will come into this in detail. And what if a company is not having 10 people as such, or if an entity is not having 10 as such, then, or in case of a housewife where they are not, they don't have any committee, internal committee members, where they're sitting at home and his neighbor comes and tries to harass her. For all such kind of a person, domestic help or any kind of a person where they are not being placed anywhere, working, non-working women, there will be a local complaints committee which will be there. Okay, I'll tell you what the local complaints committee is. In the worst case, if there is a huge thing, then he or she has to lodge a complaint against the perpetrator, that is whoever is the offensive person, he or she should file a FIR against it. Then the last aspect is anyone can be taken, or she should go call the helpline numbers which I have put in the presentation which is there, or she should call up any of the social activities and take their help in case of an NGO, or in case of a social activist, or in case of any women person whom I feel that, okay, if I go to this particular person, she will help me out to come out of this harassment, she can go and approach the person. So any steps can be taken by her in case of any harassment. Now let's see one by one what and all are the implications of doing it. How the internal committee members should be set up in the offices. There should be minimum 10 employees. Then the ICC committee should be set up in a company or school or college or any kind of a thing, in any kind of an organization, whether profit making organization or non-profit making organization, any kind of an entity, whichever is there, this needs to be implemented. Then we should have a chairperson in the, as a women in that particular committee, and the women should be the senior member, that is highest designation which the person holds in the company. He or she should have the highest designation in the thing. So she should be the chairperson. There should be one chairperson who should be a woman, and she should hold the highest designation in the company. Okay, that is number one criteria. And two members can be there amongst any of the employees or students or anything, who is committed to handle all the women issues. That is, the person should be very loyal kind of a thing, no internal favoritism or anything should be taken care. So when you're selecting the committee members, you should know whom should select and whom not to select. So that kind of a person should be selected, and they should be having a little bit of a clear knowledge on the social works and everything they should know. And very important thing is, whenever you're trying to implement the POSH in your entity or premises or anything, there should be a social worker who is there in the committee members. See, for example, I am working in a company and I am facing any kind of an harassment, but I don't want to tell it to anyone in the company, but I want the issue to be resolved. Many times it happens to us, right? I need the issue to be resolved, but I don't want to go to any of the person. I feel very uncomfortable being discussed in such a thing, or if anyone sees me in a wrong way, will it happen? What will happen? But at the same time, I'm so very disturbed that I want to address the problem at any cost. Okay. So in this case also, there will be a independent social worker from the NGO or a person who knows the legal formalities of the POSH should be a member committee, and that particular person's name and number should be displayed in the notice board telling that in case of any harassment, you can contact the committee members 1, 2, 3, and 4 and the social worker number 6. Okay, so in case of anything, you should address to that particular person, and that person can take up the case confidentially and investigate and see what needs to be done. Okay, so this is very important thing. So what are the main norms of IC committee members is they should formulate a very strict anti-sexual harassment policy. That means there should be not be any gender specification in this. They should be formulating a very strict harassment policy, and there should be a mechanism for redressing and preventive measures. That is, in case of any see, first and foremost thing is, if at all I'm publishing telling that my company is a posh free company, I have zero tolerance in my company, I don't withstand any kind of harassment to any of my employees. When I'm trying to tell this particular thing as a owner of the company, what happens is the person will be little bit scared to do any kind of a mistake. That is, there is a guy who wants to who want to tell, who has got a little bit crush on a lady. So he wants to he's trying to do all his ways to go and be in touch with that particular girl. When the management is telling that the POSH is very strong over here and this will be the redressal mechanism and prevention mechanism, and if at all anyone will be caught, he will be immediately terminated from the company. When such a thing is written in black and white, and if the policy is very strong, then what happens, the guy will feel little bit scared to go and approach that particular girl, right? So that kind of a redressal mechanism, that is ensuring that the act is very strong, it is supporting the women very strongly, that brings in lot of positive vibes in a company. That is, the employees, a safe environment for the employees as such will be there. Then, to ensure that the policy is implemented perfectly, to provide an environment that is free from gender bias discrimination, to ensure secure physical social environment which is there to think. That is to make my environment clean. That is, if I'm having 20 employees which is working in my company, all the 20 employees should not be scared of anything. They should work in a tension-free environment. So if I come to the office, I should feel that I am safe and I am also protected in my company. That kind of an environment is what this particular act is looking at. And at the same time, the awareness of sexual harassment and its various forms, as I told you, using a foul language, using unnecessarily touching a person and then talking, all those things also is a part of harassment. That kind of sensitization of topics is very much necessary in implementing the POSH in offices. That is, where the sexual harassment policy should have all these norms telling that any kind of such offenses will be strictly punished. Then it becomes a culture in the company so that none of them dare to do any kind of a mistakes. That kind of a sensitization is required. Okay, so this is internal committee members which I was telling you, and now I'll come to the local committee members. This is for, as I was telling you, it is for domestic help, or in case of housewife, or in case of establishment who have got less than 10 employees. See, now in many cases what happens is there will be only 6 employees who's working in a company, and there will be 2 ladies, and the director of the company, that is the proprietor of the company itself, is very bad. It happens. I have seen cases like this. So there are only 6 employees, He thinks that only six of them are there, they will not open their word, and no one is there to question me. That is the attitude which most of the men have got. They are so very careless, telling that no one will question me, let me play with these two girls in whichever way I want. So in these kind of things also, the act very clearly tells, even if you don't have an internal committee also, you can walk up to the local committee which is there at each district. At each district, there is a local complaints committee which will be formed. Okay, and that particular who and all will be that particular person is, it will be the district magistrate, additional district magistrate, collector, or the deputy collector, and each person will have a district officer as such. See, actually, in the Women Welfare Board, okay, Women Welfare Board, there is a big association for this. There is a national level person who's heading this Women Welfare Association, and the national level is coming down to the state. For each state, there is a Women Welfare Commissioner, and for after each state, for each district as such, there is a Women Welfare Commissioner which is there. So this Women Welfare Commissioner is the person who acts as the LCC member in the each district. Okay. There are various norms as to how you can address this particular person and everything. And the LCC members also will have the persons who's working as social workers from an NGO or anything, or a common social worker can be there, or who knows the posh policy legalities very well, and one women policy should also be there. One point which I missed out to tell you is, I told you there should be an internal committee, right? Internal committee members should be there, or okay, the internal committee members should be there. The internal committee members, what the act tells is, more than 60% of the internal committee members should be women. That is a very important thing. In the LCC or in the ICC, more than 60% of the members should be women. This is what the act tells. That is, it is giving more advantage for a women, so that the women will be taken care very well. Okay, these are the LCC committee members which needs to be formed. Then, who can file a case against a person? See, think that in case of any kind of an harassment, the agreed women itself can file a case. In case of any physical disability, her close contacts of dash 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 can file a case. In case of mental incapacity, see, there are a lot of instances that the girl has been harassed, and this leads to psychological harassment. Very, very important thing. She has been harassed so much physically, it need not be physically, mentally, she's been so harassed that she fears of losing her job. There was a case telling that the manager was harassing her with lots of workload, that she used to not work for 8 hours, in at home at another 8 hours she used to work, because she feels that I should listen to all the shit from my manager. This particular thing, she spoiled her health very badly because of her manager, because of overloaded being work, and this led to the psychological harassment of a person. That is, she was psychologically, she became unwell because she didn't take care of her health. So this is also a very strong impact on harassment cases. Okay, so at this particular time, where she is mentally harassed and she is not capable of filing a complaint, any of her relative, friends, special educator, psychiatrist, or main doctor, or a social worker, whoever is this, can file a case. Okay, the act very clearly tells, if a woman is not filing a case on behalf of her, so and so person can file a case. And in case of her death, any person who knows about the incidents or the legal hire, anyone can file a case. This is what the act tells. The act is very liberal. It tells that if she is not filing on behalf of her, anyone else who's the near and dear ones can file a case against the person. Now, very important thing is, let's come to the inquiry. Okay. Now, first and foremost, in the survey research itself, I told you 38% of the women are being harassed. This is the survey which is done in 2013. Okay, now it might be still more only. So in the year 2013, 38% of the women has been harassed, number one, and out of that, 69% of the women has not filed a case. Why? Because they fear they will give a wrong picture in the society. The society will start seeing her in a very wrong way. The society will start cornering her. That is, the entire environment of her thing becomes a hostile environment where everyone will start looking at her, staring at her, and she fears that what will happen to me in front of others. That is the fear which is she or she is having. The Act very clearly tells that whoever is filing the case should be strictly confidential only between the ICC members as such. Whoever is the committee members should keep the case very, very confidentially. And in case if there is the confidentiality is not maintained, okay, think that I give a case against XYZ person telling that he is harassing me, he used wrong words in front of me which I am not comfortable with, and this is a wrong sign for me, which I give a complaint. Okay, now this particular complaint in the ICC members, when I give it in writing, they have to keep it confidential. It should be only with me, the person whom I filed, and the committee members, and it should be in the closed door discussion. Now, what happened? One of the committee members, while speaking, he had a practice of doing all loose talks. He tried to tell this particular thing that Ramita has given a complaint against him, telling that such a thing has happened, and he did this particular comment, and in the entire company, it became a news, right? Now I have the person who's given the complaint. Okay, I have given a complaint telling that I want justice from such and such a person, that this person should not use again this particular language with me, which I am not comfortable with. That is my requirement. Yeah, I am very much strong enough to fight against this person. Now, because I gave a complaint, it should not be telling that this person has no rights to tell this particular thing to a outsider. First and foremost thing is the confidentiality has to be maintained. I can give a case against the person who has leaked out an information telling that he did not do his work properly. He is not fit to become an ICC member as such. And he can either be suspended or any action by the other committee members can be taken against the person very, very strongly. He'll be first of all removed from the ICC members, and the punishment will come over four. Either he has to give penalty, or either he'll be suspended for a few days, or he should give an apology letter, anything depending upon the what to tell the impact which has been created on me. It depends upon the punishment will be depending upon that. How strong is my case? Depending upon that, the punishments and everything will be decided by the ICC committee members. And a very important thing is the ICC committee members should be well trained to take up investigations properly. Very well trained. If you see this posh particular thing, where you'll see lot of when you implement the posh itself in a company, first thing is you will have to select the ICC members, and they should be properly trained on how to handle a case, how you need to get out the information, how you need to get the things done, how you need to see that the preventive actions have been taken in this particular things. All these things should be done by the ICC members, and this ICC members should be properly trained on how the inquiry should be taken place. Okay, number one. Second thing is they will have the entire rights of civil court. Whatever the civil courts has the rights, the POSH gives the rights to the ICC members. So the ICC members should be strong enough to check that this case is being investigated duly, and there should be justice which is given to the case. Either the woman is at right or the man is at right. The case judgment should be given without taking any favoritism into consideration. Okay, so only in the ICC committee members, yes, women will be there, but they don't take very high positions. They select the persons from the mid-level managers or from the senior management. They don't take people from the top management. So what happens is, when there is 5 people in the committee members and one person is from the top level, that is the director of the company, the rest 4 of them will listen only to the director. They will not have an opinion of his own. Whatever the director tells, they may have to nod their head. So whenever you're selecting the ICC members also, you should check that he does not do any kind of a favoritism or injustice to the investigation which is there. And proper documentation is mandatory. I'll tell you one small instances which happened. Okay, the incident happened actually just a few months back, where a lady was the lady was harassed by a man. Okay, I don't remember the guy. What the guy used to do is, he was a supervisor and the lady was a domestic help. Okay, the guy what he used to do is, he is a kind of a loose talk person. He keeps talking about everything very casually, like unwanted talks, loose talks, passing double jokes in double meaning jokes. All these things he used to do, and this became a practice in this particular thing. And once what happened, the lady got offended and she went and complained because of XYZ reasons, which is that she went and complained against the guy. When they investigated this, they clearly came to know that this guy has got an habit of loose talks and he's doing double jokes. Because when we inquire to other members who is working in the same place, we'll easily come to know whether he's right or not. So same complaint was given by the other team members also against this person. So it was a joint kind of a complaint. So the company took action against the guy. The guy was immediately removed from the company. Okay. Now what happened? All these things should have been registered in the complaint with the ICC members. They did the investigation, they took action also. Okay. But it was not documented in the company. Look, even the employee committed also telling that, yes, I did a mistake, I did a loose talk, and I have done such a harassment to this particular lady. And the guy accepted it. The written application was there, and the guy was terminated also from the company. Okay. Now what happens? This particular lady, this guy is an outsider now. He started calling up this lady and daily he started harassing her, telling that because of you only I lost my job, because of this only I lost my job. All these things happen. This lady, what she did is, she committed suicide, writing this guy's name. We don't know what is the reason for this particular harassment or anything. Why this lady got scared? What was this guy harassing her? We are not aware of anything, but she committed suicide, telling that the reason for my suicide is such a guy. He is daily calling me up and harassing me. If that guy is calling up and harassing, she should have directly, she's the employee of the company, she should have come and addressed, telling that, see, such a thing is happening, what should I do? Instead of that, first time when he was working in the company, she came and gave a complaint. The second time, she didn't know, we were not even aware that this lady is facing such a problem, and she went and committed the suicide. And unfortunately, this company had not documented it, and the company had to face the consequences of it, right? Because the POSH Act tells that there should be quarterly returns of filing, which needs to be done under POSH. If you are having a case, what is the case? Who has given the case? Against whom? How have you investigated? What is the judgment which is done? What are the facts and figures to that? What is the proof for that, and what is the action which you have taken? Everything step by step. See, it is a case. it is a, as I told you, the IC members has got every rights of a civil court, right? So this case should be clearly investigated. So their documentation of any harassment complaint also should be clearly documented properly. And because it's a suicide case, there was FIR which filed, and then the company was in the limelight. Right? So many instances which we saw in the recently a very MNC company, which is that there was a false allegation which was given by a lady against a HR manager. Okay, HR manager was there. The HR manager, what he did, he was suspended during the inquiry. Okay, the case was still going on. They were still inquiring about the case, but as the norms of the company, they were suspended for, the HR manager was suspended for the company. He felt so offended. He felt that his life itself is not worth living, and he committed suicide. And this was a very, very big issue which has happened. That the case was still going on. This was a false allegation which was given by a woman against the HR manager. But this HR manager, before the case was closed or before the investigation itself, he went and committed suicide. So all these things also can be avoided if the person is well aware of what the act is. And first and foremost thing is, it should be kept strictly confidential, and none other person should know that this thing has happened. Okay, this is first and foremost thing. And a copy of the investigation report should be sent to the members as well as to the respondent. That is the whomever he or she has complained, he's the respondent. The respondent should clearly give a complaint, that is written thing within, respond within 10 days, written justification for the complaint within 10 days. Then the LC or IC investigates the investigation based on facts, and if it's a criminal case, immediately an FIR should be filed. If it's a silly petty cases, the company can take measures like terminating a person, or apology letter, or depending upon the things, he or she can, the ICC or LCC can take steps. That is a mutual concern kind of a thing. But in case if it is a very bad thing which has happened, then strictly FIR has to be filed against the case. So it is always better that the act will be taken care. Now, next is relief during the inquiry process. Now, I am the person who's been affected. Okay, I am into a big harassment case. I have been filed, but I am mentally totally disturbed, that I don't feel like coming to the office at all. So depending upon my mental stability, that is the person who has been harassed, okay, depending upon her mental stability, the ICC committee can take steps. He or she can be granted leave up to 3 months, okay, in addition to her entitled leave. The committee members can give up to 3 months the leave. Then the committee members can transfer me. See, the environment which I am working now, I don't feel comfortable with my manager at all. So I am being totally affected. I don't want to work with him at all. So the ICC committee members can transfer me to some other project or site or any other department as such, and make sure I'm safe and happy over there. Okay, that is the steps which can be taken. He can transfer me or the harasser, the respondent or the complainant. Either if I am not able to come to the office because this person is there, then he can transfer me. Or say I am not any mistake, I am right, then let Ramita come to the office, but this person is a mistake, he should be suspended from the company. That steps also should be taken. Anything which is feasible according to the case which is being registered, that should be taken accordingly. Then restrain the respondent from deporting to work. This is what the HR manager's case which I told you. The HR manager was not supposed to come to work till the case has been solved. He or she is not supposed to come to work. And writing confidential reports, it should be 100% confidential as such. restrain the respondent from supervising the academic activities. That is, we should avoid telling that the harasser and the person who has been affected will not come together. So that kind of steps also the ICC committee members can be taken. That is, a relief can be given to the ICC committee by the ICC committee members to the person who has been affected. Okay, and these are the steps which can be done for that particular thing. Now, very important thing is the helpline numbers. The helpline numbers are, as I told you, you can contact the district office or the helpline number, which is the police station, and 181 is a purely helpline number of any state. You can just call 181 in case of any emergencies or anything, they will come to help you. And I have also explained you how a national level commissioner is there for a company, state level, and then for each state level, every district has got a women welfare commissioner as such. Other than that, for each place, there'll be a state women and child development council will be there who looks after only the women related issues. And the new thing which has come into place is women police station for each district. The women police station is there only to solve the women related issues. Whatever the issues which is faced, it is only women's which is there, and they can directly go and approach. Nari Shakti is also one of the government thing which is there. It's also an association. In case of anything, they can go approach this particular person, or they can approach a social worker, activist, or an advocate who feels that okay, this if I go to this particular person, I my issue will be resolved at any case. That can be done. And the final option is they can give send a registered complaint to the women commissioner telling that such a thing has happened. I want justice. That also can be done. Then there is also a women online portal which is there, that is called SheBox. Any kind of an harassment kind of a thing, you can put it over here. They will be social workers, district commissioner, and all the persons. It is a joint venture of all the things. They will come and investigate and provide justice to you. And please ensure that whatever is complaint you have given, it will be treated 100% confidentially. Okay, you need not have to be afraid of any particular thing. And very important thing is false complaint. That is, I told you many examples also I gave you what will happen if there is a false complaint as such. So all these things agreed women, if it is false. Okay, I'll tell you this also. If at all I have given a false complaint against XYZ, and if after the investigation they found out telling that I have done wrongly, okay, and the person who's the other end person, XYZ person, he is right, they find out telling that Ramita has given a false complaint. The action which needs to be taken by a person who has given the false complaint is, if the complaint is true. See, for example, if I given telling that XYZ has harassed me, he has touched me without my consent, and I have told him 2 3 times not to do it, but again and again he's been repeating it. If that complaint is true, what is the action which will be taken by against XYZ? He will be terminated by the company, right? That is the action for the complaint which I have raised, if it is true. If it is false, what action will be taken against the same respondent? I need to be facing the same punishment. That is, if he is terminated, if it is true, I will be terminated if it is false. If I have done the complaint purposely, in many instances which has recently happened is because of jealousy, because see, the manager is shouting at me, let me teach him a lesson. So in those kind of a things also, false complaint will be lodged. So please don't even try to do all such false kind of a complaint, because the act is taking a reverse direction again on the women. And again, it's a bad impact on your personality as such, if at all there is a false complaint which is lodged. If it's a genuine complaint, always the act will support you. But if it's a false thing, it does not support you in any kind of a manner. I'll tell you one thing which has happened. The same case which I was telling you, a lady was supposed to do XYZ kind of a work. She didn't do it. The manager used foul language. The investigation happened. The investigation happened telling that the lady has done a false complaint. The manager only shouted. He didn't do any kind of a misappropriation or misconduct or anything as such. Because of this, what happened? The lady was terminated in the company. Okay, this is a exact scenario which is happened. Now, this lady, what she does, she finds offended. See, I've been thrown out of the company. Now, let me teach this manager a lesson. So, what she did, she went and approached the police station and she filed a case against the manager telling that he told me to come and work with him in the night shift. Where no one else will be there, only I and you will be there. This is what the allegations which she had put. It was again a false allegation. The manager didn't even know about it. The manager's mistake was only using harsh words on the person because she didn't do the work, right? So in this case also, again, what happened? The company had all the documents against the girl telling that she was wrong. Number one, and the company will always, how much ever the strong the lady was, the company, when she went and approached her, okay, you need not have to come to the office, we'll take you back, but we'll put you to other side. That also she didn't accept. She wanted the same place to come, wherever she was working, that same place she had to come back, and she wanted that the manager should be punished and thrown out of the company. This was the thing which is that. But when everything happened, the everyone knows that the lady is at fault. Then what happened? The case became a false kind of a thing. When the investigation, everything, when the reports was there, all the things they came to know very clearly, telling that it was a false allegations against her. Then the case got dropped out very easily. Here is, she tried to lose a job, her name got impacted, and in the society also she had a very bad name, because she herself went and told everyone telling that I will come back. It was a kind of a challenge for her. I'll come back to the same seat wherever I am working. And that kind of a wrong attitude was there for that particular lady. So don't try to do all such things. If it's a very genuine thing, if it is very correct thing, and where you have been facing issue, try to solve it, and then, but try to oppose it very strongly. In the very first instance itself, if at all you feel there is anything wrong, try to force it, oppose it very strongly. So this is one of the things. And coming to my last slide, employer responsibility. The employer has to conduct workshops, awareness, and then policy, a clear-cut policy should be drafted, and then the employer should also ensure that the safe environment is done, and the policy should be implemented strongly, form an internal committee, and give the powers to the members very strongly, very strongly. All these things has to be done. So we have discussed of all these things which is there. So with this, we come to the end of this particular session. So this is my email ID and WhatsApp number. In case of any help which is required, you can always get in touch with me. In case of implementing the POSH, implementing the policies, or in case of any harassment which you're facing and you don't know what needs to be done, and any kind of a help if you want, please get in touch with me. I can guide you and I can help you out in whichever way is possible. Okay, any questions?
Thank you, Ramita ma'am. Any questions from the participants?
Any questions? Hope the POSH things was helpful to everyone.
Hope your presentation is very clear, ma'am.
Okay, any questions?
Okay. Um, Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening and entertaining presentation on POSH.
Thank
And
you.
the live cases that you have shared with us are really very much informative.
I think there is chat. Case if any of the person got injured, will in case if any of the person got injured, will we be punished? Chitra, I didn't understand your question. Now, whether that is by mistake, if you're trying to injure a person, will you be punished? Is what is your question is? See, for in case of any accidents which is happening in the company, and if the person has got injured, and if you're not done it purposely, you will not be questioned. You can always try to tell that by mistake it has happened or anything like that. But if it is a if any of the injury is done purposely, okay, in this also, as I told you in the last example which I did, false allegations and all will be done purposely. And the act also which I told you is it does not consider the intent of the person. It mainly focuses on how the women is being affected. Okay, whether the guy does it purposely or the guy does not do it purposely, but if I am facing a problem with this particular person, if I am disturbed because of this particular guy, then I can go and file a case. In the same way, this also happens in case if I have injured a person purposely, then I will be punished. But without my knowledge, without my thing, by mistake, there was some accident which happened and which the other person injury happened to other person, then it is fine. It is not coming under the case as such. You conduct this webinar nice and very smooth. Thank you, Sri Devi. Okay, any other doubts is there? You can unmute yourself and ask any doubts if you have, or you can type in the chat box. Anything is fine. Yeah, yeah, please ask me. Fine. If at all it's confidential, as I told you, I'll just message the number. You can call me up anytime and we can discuss on whatever it is there. Not an issue. If you are facing any kind of issue where you don't know what needs to be next, you can definitely call me up. And in case if anyone, any of the organization or anything, if we are not implemented POSH in the company and wherein you want to do it at any cost, then you can definitely approach me. I can help you out to whatever way it is required. What are the activities of Kovai Wonder Women doing, ma'am? Let me know, please. Sharanya, ma'am, I think you can answer this. Sharanya, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I'll reply to her, ma'am. I'll reply to her.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Any other questions, participants? Then
I think,
yes, Sudhir Chandu.
yeah, I think there are no more questions. They are saying no,
Questions
ma'am.
they are asking privately actually.
Okay, okay, fine.
That's fine. Okay. I messaged the phone number and things. Please do call me up. Okay, 1 second. I am. This is my number, and please do call me if you require any details or anything. I'll be happy to support you in anything. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your time.
వింటారా?
Thank you, Ramita ma'am, for sparing your time with us. Thank you, all the participants, for your patient listening and for your interactive session. And Sudhi, over
Yeah.
to you now.
Thank you, Ramita ma'am. Your session was very useful to us. The presentation is clearly explains what we have to do and what we can't do this like an inappropriate way. So thank you so much, and thank you participants for your active participations. If you do have any queries, kindly contact us, Ramita ma'am, and also you can contact us also. So we are doing a COVID Wonder Woman activities also. So we are coming with up next webinars also related to women empowerment and women health. So you can join with us for any time. If you have any queries, directly contact with us. So we have posted your number and our Facebook pages also. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, participants. So participants kindly fill the feedback form. Then only we can give a certificate properly. Thank you, Ramita ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Koval Wonder Woman, for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.